So let's talk about, because now we talked about you and how you cultivate your own energy. Now let's talk about how you relate with other people's energy. Sometimes it's very high, sometimes it's on par, so there is a match and things feel very flowy. And sometimes in our teams or in our colleagues or various stakeholders, it's much less energy. How do we deal with this? How do we manage that? How do we, and what do we do and what for? The first place to look is inside is what makes you say that there is a low energy around you? That's the first place. Sometimes there is no low energy, but there is a judgment that I have about my team having low energy. The second element is being able to recognize the absence or the low energy without judging it, which is because quite often, because just to be transparent, things are changing, but most of the time, senior executives get access to a lot of support. And people who are not on the senior executive bench have access to much less support and are much more into operational executive type of tasks, which, because we are all human, can be quite difficult to embrace and appreciate. Because I assume that we all want more freedom, more space, and creativity need to express itself. And when we are slightly boxed in, it's much harder for this creativity to find an avenue. So what does it do? It stops, it recedes, it disappears. And as a result, there is sometimes much less energy available in our teams. There's the same compounding effect we touched upon a few minutes earlier, which is also available here. If I have less energy and the whole office have less energy, guess what? I'll have less energy as well. So what's my responsibility as a manager, as a leader of myself or of a team to handle and to manage or to be with that less, let's call it less strong energy. It's just simply less strong. It's like a flame, It's like a flame of a fire. It's not like it's not existent, but it doesn't want to flow as much. First of all, is to realize that I am responsible. What is my contribution to this lack of energy or lack of fire, lack of commitment? Do I need to have more conversation or relationship with my people? Can I be curious and check with them what's driving them? When was the last time you asked your team members, what's driving you? I know coming from France, that's one of those questions we're taught not to ask because we feel, is there going to be a strike? Are people going to take advantage? What's going to happen if I start to ask people what they want? The thing is, people need to know that they can say what they want, because only when they can express what they really want, then they can go after it. Or at least you can decide to help align the interest and respond to what matters to someone instead of allowing it to disappear and to be less prevalent in the work environment. Like, for instance, if I take the case of one of those very start growing organizations in tech I've been working with for many years, how long do you think can people in the middle level of the organization can work 7 days a week, 9 to 6, 9 to 9, and doing all-nighter? How long can this last? We can take them through some equity. We give them access to some equity. There is some bonus, there is some promotion, there is some dinner, there is some party. But how many days, how many months, how many years can people go on like this? There's a moment they're going to see that it doesn't work for them anymore. And therefore, there is something which needs to change. And that's where we start to talk about the culture. But that's not the topic for today. To respond to how do I manage the energy of my team, I need also to ask myself, am I allowing my team to have access to what I have access to myself? Good thing that you or I had the opportunity to cultivate a leadership ecosystem, I just called it. But how much of this ecosystem is available to other people? How much other people have access to coaching circles, conversations? How much space do they have in the organization to be able to be in touch with their own leadership and be able to take their decision and take ownership at all points? Do you leverage your privilege by recognizing it and giving people access to it? Or do you hide your privilege in the organization, making people believe it's their fault?